gonna be you guys until till the very end. See how that goes.
We can totally do it.
Just throw in a mind control person, and I can take care of this for you real quick.
There already is one.
Yeah, but that'll just blow up in Arcloyd's face. Also, I don't think he can.
Oh?
Not yet, I don't think.
Yes, O is the letter that follows N, which I think you'll signed. Spells no, you don't. Yes, that was a joke made on the fly.
I could tell.
Okay, then. Are we ready to go?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we're live. Hi, everybody. Sorry for that. Bit of a delay. We are we're 2 members down, but we will continue because that's what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
These situations are well beyond our control, and we hope that our missing members are, doing the best under the circumstances. Some good news, some bad news, but no need to get into that here because we have to respect people's privacy. So just know that they are, as far as we know, they're doing well, all things considered. Could be better. Again, this is 2020, so it's only so much.
The bar is so low, we could easily jump this one, right?
Yeah. So we start as we always do with the characters' names and mottos. So let's start. Let me see if I can restart this for a second. We start as we should always do with Griffin.
Hey, I'm Griffin. How's it going? I'm playing Gregory Birkin III, a lion elementalist who is also a noble. He has a vain personality, and my motto is that I'm fit to be the king.
Follow that with Theta.
I am Harmon, mule, soldier / marine. Personality is stoic. Motto is you need to know that you're in for the fight of your life.
And last but not least, of course, Arcloyd.
Yes, I'm Ironclaw. I play Spencer McDougall, the calculating, raccoon thaumaturge, cognoscenti, and his motto is the best secret for those no one knows you to keep.
Okay, then. Last time you were investigating a couple of things, searching still for the tablets, but more importantly, at the moment you were trying to deal with a mercenary threat to the Isles, trying to remove that advantage, or at least lessen it for your enemies. And you had narrowed down to what is one person, could be more than one person, but one person that was really hiring these mercenaries, and we're thinking about how to tackle that situation. So you had that name, Will Cox, also somebody who came from the Isles, and apparently they're the ones who are the point person hiring mercenaries. There also seem to be dealing with other very sketchy situations, which are not technically legal, but they're borderline legal, depending on how that checks up. So, what are you going to do with the information you have so far?
Well, I think our next step was to check out the possible murder or kidnapping of a specific person.
Yes.
A young woman.
Yeah. And you had her name, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And about to check that out. So, how are you going to approach that?
Good question. I suppose we could
by the way,
walk right up and ask, of course, but what do you think, Spencer?
Put me on the spot here. I'm not quite sure yet. I need some time to look over the notes here.
Right. I think maybe just introducing ourselves might be best, and then seeing if they'd be willing to divulge anything. Say that we're investigating, and maybe that we can help them.
Yes.
All right.
So I think that's going to be the plan. We'll go to this girl wasn't part of like a big noble family or anything. She was just sort of a commoner, of course.
Well, she was more of the guild classes, right? She was
Mhm.
the family, the Fleur family, was someone up and comers as well. They were new reach at best.
Mhm.
So somebody with some importance, but no nobility, no title that you know of.
Let's see. And I suppose we'll just need to remember what her name was.
Leandra.
Leandra. Okay. So, I suppose sometime during the day we'll head over there. Knock and say hello.
An elderly, actually a maid, who is not from the Isles, it seems like a local, answers the door. Like, "Pardon, monsieur, what can I do for you?"
Hello there. I'm a visitor from afar. My name is Gregory Varkin III. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've been doing some investigations recently, and something's come up to my attention, and I was wondering if perhaps I could speak to someone about it.
Oh, the lady of the house is not here right now. I could take a message.
Uh, yes, of course. Leave a message that she can reach me over at this inn, and that I'm interested in speaking to her about her daughter Liliandra.
When you say that, her face contorts. At first, it looks like fear, but then, I mean, this person is not trained in sort of hiding your emotions.
Yeah, of course.
You expect fear, but really, it's more like disgust.
And I'll like recoil a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong? I do apologize.
No, Monsieur Pedron. Yes, I will transmit your message to her as soon as possible. Thank you. And she sort of like tries to slam the door in your face.
And I'll just sort of put my foot in there. It's like, ow, 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 my foot. Ma'am, please, I didn't mean to offend. If
Wait.
there's,
Am I right there? So of course
Uh,
I always am.
of course.
Yeah.
I smashed that fucking door and then.
Uh,
She just flies back. It's like, ah.
I mean, I'm not
Help!
smashing it in because you're like shoving it in Gregory's face. I mean, I'm smashing it in because Gregory's foot is in the door, and he's, extolling pain. So, no, that does not happen.
you just put up your hand and it just doesn't move. Then
It's like, and she's scared now. The hand, the male face is on the door. It's like, I said to the lady's not here. I cannot help you. I do not know what you want.
no, please, simply explain to me. I'm not familiar with maybe what has occurred. What is this about?
That hole is not here. The hole is not here. Just no, leave us alone.
I'm of course trying to reason with her and maybe get her back onto my side a little bit. Please, just tell me what is this? What is causing such tension about this matter?
She said, no, it's family. I already said too much. She's not here. And hopefully she will never return. This is all
Never
I can say.
return.
That's all I can say. Are you gonna try to convince her to spill the beans? You have them there, but
Yeah. That's what I was trying to imply this whole time. I've been trying to like win her over a little bit.
You do well. You're gonna have to do a will check because she's very defensive, right?
Okay.
You have to sort of impose yourself before you're gonna sort of talk her down.
Sure. So I guess that would just be presence then.
Mhm.
Okay, so I already got a good bit of presence. I've already introduced myself as the nobility. I would suppose that would apply here.
Yeah, you can use her station. I mean, she doesn't know really much difference between one noble and the other.
And I guess
Foreign or
etiquette
domestic.
applies to parties, but this seems like maybe an application of it in terms of I'm literally not trying to offend or be rude to anyone here. I'm literally just trying to get to the bottom of a matter. Does that make sense to add in that so I don't
You broke up a little bit there. So I don't know if it was me or not.
Okay, I'm just trying to use etiquette because I'm saying I'm trying not to offend them because it's clearly sensitive matter. I'm just here to try to help.
That might be for a follow-up role. Right now, you're trying to get control situation. Right now, she's just in panic mode, right?
So I'll go ahead and roll with this. I think this is probably good. Harvey, you don't have any presents, do you?
No.
No. Okay. Well, you're not backing me up quite on this. That's still 3 success. That's nice.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. It was like, what do you want to know?
I'm a curious soul, and there's a matter close to my heart, and it's come to my attention that Liliandra may be of some part of what I've been looking to. What's happened to her? You said that she left and may never return.
The master sent her away on account that she disgraced the family. Because and she sort of does a motion like this, like she doesn't want anybody to
to know.
Yeah, she points at her stomach and goes like this. Yes.
The language of pantomime. Everyone understands this, but yeah.
She got knocked up. Is that how you say in your language? Yes.
Yes, you did that perfectly. Exactly the sort of slang I'm used to hearing. Oh dear, I see. And I'll think back a little bit. The person we've been after here. What was his name? Rickard? Yeah.
No, Wilcox.
Wilcox. Wilcox. No one ever said he was actually married, did he?
No.
I'll just put my hands to my face and go, oh my. Oh my. Very, very interesting. I don't mean to intrude too much further, but what became of her?
She was sent away to some family relations up north into the country. I haven't heard of it. Some say even to a nunnery, but I don't think the partners would do that. My master and the mistress would do that.
I see. I do have need to speak to her. Do you know more precisely a village name, perhaps?
Why would you
or just
talk to her? Because what would you know? I mean, why would you bring more embarrassment to the family? This it's been dealt with. I know she's getting angry and sort of like, how dare you, right? Her like. Enough. I mean, it is enough to know that she did not, she opened her legs to the wrong person or sons.
And I'll just I'll try to be like my charming self. I'll reach out, I'll take her hand and go, my dear, my ma'am, there's many lives hanging in the balance of what may seem to be such a simple matter, but truly it goes beyond just merely one person's slight dishonor. And if there is any honor to be had, it is to be in putting an end to the matters that I am seeking.
It's gonna be a hard role, but yeah, okay. Now you can do because you have her attention, right?
Right.
She's like, you're looking directly at her. So yeah, that is
right. So I guess we're going back to will and presence again.
Yeah.
And I guess this time etiquette.
Yeah.
And I guess I did
important matters and such.
Right, and I guess at this point I'm legal authority magistrate. I'm actually doing something really, really important. So I'm letting that drop. Which gives me a whole lot of D12s to work with. That's 5.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah. She gives you a name of the village. It's a couple of maybe a day's walk around here, maybe half a day on a carriage, if you can get one. She will tell you what I don't know what she will tell you. What she will tell you that she would made a mistake or something. You know, it was a very embarrassing. It almost got out that that she had a lover or something, and she never said who it was, but you know, her father was of course furious. Had it come out that her daughter was a wanton, slap-hand, a loose woman. More
Of
one
course.
set of loose lips, if I ever said so. Then it will be bad. It will be horrible. The family will be ruined. Bastard and having all that things. I don't know. I don't know more about that. From time to time, the master gets some letter. I think the mistress gets some letter or something like that from her, but that's about it. I mean, they cared about her even though she betrayed their trust.
I see. It is a difficult family situation, and of course, I'll do what I can to not push put too much more upon you and yours here. Thank you again, though, for what you've done for me.
Just as it doesn't come back to me that I talk to you.
Not a single word shall leave my lips of such.
The family it's a very good family. Well, most of them, of course. They treated me well. And I do not have to betray their confidence.
Indeed. To that then, I bid you adieu. And we'll step back outside. And of course I'll look to you three and go, well, we do have a carriage, and we do have a place, and we have a person.
Wait. You three?
Sorry, I
listen-
added myself in a second time. That's just how great I am.
There's so much of Gregory to go around. There's Gregory, and then there's Gregory, and therefore
I need to pull back on all the pies and all the drinks. It's like there's too much of me now.
Actually, I was thinking of, you guys ever seen Harmon Quest?
No, maybe
Dan
once.
Harmon's RPG show where they animate what they do and everything. Anyway,
yeah.
the GM is a character who's standing in the scenes when they do stuff. So you say you three, and I was thinking just lessons is standing outside, narrating what's going on as it happens.
Was this the one with the puppets?
No, it's animated.
Yeah, the little animated puppets.
No,
just animated.
it's animated. Look, not like Muppet Babies, where we know that they're Muppets and puppets.
Well, I mean, I say they're puppets because that's what they effectively are, but I remember at least one series where they had, like, little animated cutouts of themselves, and they had, like, a special program where they all pop up on the scene, they walk on and off scene as they, like, press buttons, and they even press buttons for when they're talking. Maybe it's that one that I'm thinking of, because it's been a while. They also did, like, donations for random stuff. Is that the same one? I don't know.
No.
Oh yeah, no, completely different one then.
Animated.
Yes.
There's no
Anyway.
Muppets or puppets.
I want puppets now.
So yeah, you have a name of family. You have a name of the girl and a location. The second name of the village is Dequa. The name is Dequa. It's up the north. So it's about a half a day on a carriage.
Right, and as we've covered before, we had a carriage. We paid for it now, finally, because it's no longer the holiday.
Yeah.
Let's just take our carriage.
Let's go.
You go on there, and the countryside is very scenic here. As you move north, it's what we call bocage country. A little bit of that. You see that the fields, and like the open fields that are shared commons in the Isles. Here you have like delineations of like these ancient trees and bushes that are used to delineate specific areas. So it's there, and in fact, some roads tend to be over, but also other ones that are sort of sunken into the ground. So you're passing these, it's midday, but there's a lot of shade as you pass through these to the cold Bocage country. And there's some vineyards and some other things, but this is what you're seeing. And eventually, it sort of opens up into this village. There's an ancient, older keep, probably not used as a keep anymore in the military sense,
Mhm.
but it's still a prominent feature. It's dilapidated, in fact, and you have a village, a quaint French style village, um, and you will win. A lot of blues. It's like almost like being in the animated version of Belle and the Beast, right? Beauty and the Beast. That kind of village, right? Um, and you walk in, and the different species, uh, and the carriage sort of drops you in the middle of town, in the village square where there's a fountain. So, sir, monsieur, I can wait here for you, unless you want me to take you to stables or something.
That will be good. Thank you. Say as you are.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I suppose we're going to go ahead and see if we can find Leandra. We didn't have a specific place they were staying, and there's obviously not a nunnery here, so I guess we just need to ask around town a little bit.
That would be gossip. That would be hard work because whatever happened, it seems to have happened several years ago. Something that is still memorable if people who are in the know, right? A new villager come in, kind of like Stardew Valley when the new villager comes in, everybody knows because this is not a thorp, it's a village. It's a little bit bigger than that, but not huge either. So that would be a gossip roll to narrow it down to anybody who actually knows about this person.
Okay. And Arcloid, I think we covered that you were the better gossiper now, right?
Yeah, D8, D6.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and assist you. And you get a D12.
Nice.
There we go.
Bunch of successes. Yeah, after a while, you go to local, bar or pub, etc. And in fact, you find a group of in the afternoon. You find a group of laborers that are sort of sitting in benches underneath a tree, and they're drinking their wine, and they're talking. Right, they're very, very rapid fire in the local language in Calabrese. But you manage to sort of buy a couple of drinks, etc. Ingratiate with them, and they say, yes, there was a girl that came from the city about 3-4 years ago. No, 5 years ago, give or take, 4 or 5 years ago. I had some rumors that something was wrong. She was getting away from something, but didn't see much of her. Um, After that, well, she seems to be with a nephew of hers or something. Always playing with it, with him. So that's it. That's all I know.
I
Apparently,
see. Which part
apparently
of town is she on?
She points to the east.
Mhm.
One of the houses to the east. Apparently, the old widow, was getting sick and had a nephew that needed to be taken care of, and she came up to help out, and sort of has taken over the household.
I see.
The old widow is still there. Old widow Shiro is still working there, still doing her thing, but she's better now.
Very well. Thank you. And I think we have our plan then. We need to head to that side of town, find the house, and of course say hello.
Yeah, when you see this little boy, a little kitten, because they're foxes as well, as Will calls us, describe as a fox. Yeah, I guess describe as a fox. Playing around, playing outside with like a twine ball, and there's some some little lizard that he's playing with, and there's we say an older fox. She's about in her early 20s, washing clothes. Like she has like the big, bowl and the and there's a washboard, and she's sort of doing the cleaning. And the house is well maintained. Again, this house is more like a rural, not so much an estate, but really sort of a middle class uh, farmer, right? Has some
Mhm.
holdings, uh, and you hear someone call from the inside, an older voice. It's like, yes, Auntie, I'm coming, and she starts moving. This lady, she starts moving into the house as you pull in. How are you gonna approach the whole situation?
I'm going to appear calm, casual, and charming, of course. That's all I can think I do. I'm going to just introduce myself when I can.
It's a boy. It's out there playing with this
Oh,
ball.
oh, right. I'm sorry. I thought he already went inside and someone was coming out. My bad.
No, no.
I'll
She went in to because somebody called her. She went in and started, whatever they were doing. So she left the boy outside. The boy is just playing with this ball, like with a stick and moving it.
Okay.
You know.
I'll go ahead and wave hello to the boy and say hello, young child. How are you?
Hello. How can I help you? He's about 3 years old, 4 years old at most.
Mm-hmm. Little child, is your mother Leandra?
My auntie is in here. Yes, auntie. So people to see you. And you see the young woman come out, and she's like has an apron and sort of washing her hands. Like, yes. What can I do for you, monsieur?
Hello there, ma'am. You are Leandra, are you not?
Yes.
There's a matter of great importance I wish to speak with you about, and it has to do with Wilcox.
Arrête. Move. And she screams to the little boy to just get indoors. Move it. Arrête. It's like, but mama. It's out.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes in, and she actually closes the door and kind of moves to the side, like there's no windows or anything that would. And she kind of there's a little seat, a stool besides where she washes her clothes, and she sits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is this all about?
Well, there's quite a lot of things that this is about, but I'm interested here today of your relation with Wilcox. I take it hasn't been pleasant.
I suspected someone would always come to see me eventually about that bastard. No. And she looks inside. And when she said bastard, she looks inside. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't be throwing that well down. What do you wish to know?
Well, I suppose I should divulge. Wilcox is perhaps on the path to lead to the deaths of quite a number of many people back where I come from.
So you're from the Isles. I can tell by your accent.
Indeed, that's right. And he is if nothing else, a slippery bastard.
He's a greedy bastard, that's for sure.
Indeed.
I don't have much to tell you about him other than when he came to the Isles, he was charming. He came here, he was charming, flashing a lot of coin. And, well, he made a lot of promises. Clearly, he didn't meant to keep.
Indeed. It's been quite a lot of... That seems to be his main business practice, to be honest.
Yes.
My
you
greatest...
don't know anything about lives or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps, and let's see if she actually, can put two together. She's not that dumb. She is a really pretty lady. Yeah, it's like I hope it has nothing to do with these rumors of war into your homeland. I apologize for that. I must be very terrible for you to deal with such things.
In Indeed, you are correct, and they have been most terrible. And I do, of course, I'm here for fear of my own people. And you understand perhaps the severity of what's happening.
Well, I do not know exactly how I would be involved, though
Well,
members of my family.
I suppose to put it most bluntly, he needs to go down.
I see.
And I've been pondering perhaps how best to do that. There are others in the city who certainly do not like his ascent, nor his use of mercenary force, nor his wealth. And anything that
Netherlands.
they could latch on to is something that they could use. And give him maybe some of the justice he deserves for what he's done.
Well, Monsieur, I only know from personal experience that he likes to dally around. Like I said, he made many promises to me, but of course, he seems that he was making many promises to many ladies. And since he got away with it once, I'm sure he has gotten away with it many more times. Perhaps one of these lady friends of his will have more information.
Perhaps.
I mean, I could, no, to give you what you need from me would be to put my family, even more shame on my family and myself and my son. He does not need to know any of this, not yet.
Gregory will sort of nod a little bit, and he's scratching his chin, sort of like thinking and like very much weighing that as an option too.
There were others. I can point you to other women that I've heard whispers of. They may or may not know, but if he's still abusing their confidence, then perhaps one of them will know something that can help you. Otherwise, I will not endanger my family and damage your reputation even further.
I understand, of course, but any help that you can provide us, I will gladly accept.
She rattles on a couple of women names of clearly names of women that she might know. You know, back when she was like, but that was years ago. I was forced to leave the city several months after his arrival for obvious reasons.
Of course.
I will say this: he is a consummate liar. Perhaps that is the way in. You can find one of his lies. Maybe he lied to the wrong person, someone with real power, and perhaps this could be it.
Perhaps. My search will have to continue then. Maybe we'll find one, and we'll have some ammunition at last. Still, if he goes down, perhaps there's some chance of returning honor to some of your family. Or at least...
I dishonor my family, monsieur, and I have to live with it.
But you do still have yours. And I'm sort of just like nudging towards the house. Because she does apparently actually care.
I do. I wish I could be more help, monsieur, but I hope you understand my circumstances.
Indeed. And I'll go ahead and take a look at Spencer and Harmon and just kind of go, well, I think we're done here for now. We have some more names we can go back for.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going back. I'm listing off the list of them and just going. So we have a bunch of women we can work with, which will undoubtedly undo his reputation, which is a bit of ammunition. And I suppose Lady Rishi would be more interested in that, but it's not exactly the death blow to his entire business that it could be.
Yeah, remember that his it would be a scandal of sorts.
It would be
but
a scandal, but it wouldn't
But
be
it would be
fatal.
more.
Yeah.
It will be more damage to the Fleur family than to his. Right? He's going to
Right.
deny anything. He's a single man. Right? The worst that can happen, somebody will try to have a shotgun wedding years later. Right?
Right,
And-
yeah. And I mean, I guess there's the other women in town, and that's something. But like you said, it would just be a scandal. He's not like a member of nobility. They can't like kick him out and stop inviting him to parties. He's just rich.
Yeah, and he could take his money and go like somewhere else. So
Right, exactly. It's not the death blow it needs to be. But we do at least have like a bit more insight into his personality. So I think maybe we need to follow up on the contracts he's made and then see if we can find someone who's maybe more upset and maybe is caught on a bigger technicality. So we need to not only investigate and ask about these associations, we have to shift through the volume of them and find the good one. If there is one.
you can get back to town and do more gossip rolls. And see if any of these names that she gave you still works for you.
Okay. So we can try that, and we'll start going through the list. I'm going to roll to assist Spencer.
All right.
That gives you a D8, right?
A D12, because I'm a
D12.
team player.
Ah.
I work well with others. And then claim their victories as mine.
That's
Very
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You one of the names sort of basically gets a ding, if you will, asking around, takes a couple of days. A woman by the name of Bernadette. Put it in. And the thing about this is that Bernadette now seems to be another well-to-do woman, but the rumor is that she used to be a prostitute that became a madame.
Right.
And that gives her money. That gives her position of power, because prostitution is not illegal, I think, in this city. But of course, it doesn't give her repute.
Of course.
So her connection with Wilcox is interesting, right? Is it a romantic relationship? Is it a professional relationship? What is it? You don't know. But the fact is that you find that's the rumor, because currently she just seems to be a part of the seamstress union, right? And doing something else. So it's just a rumor. But with those kind of roles, it's like you got some very good information on her. So if anybody seems to be both in a vulnerable position or somebody who might still know him, that's her.
All right. So that seems like the way to go. I'm not sure if it would be wise for me to be spotted at a brothel, though.
Well, she doesn't. Well, you do get a name of a brothel that she might have worked in, so that's one approach. Well, you're noble. Actually, nobles, males going to brothels if they're not married. That's actually seen as something here in the city. Like, yeah, that's what you do. That's just as go to. It's being associated with prostitutes in any more than any, on a capability other than I pay them money and have sex kind of.
Right.
It's like what was in Assassin's Creed the what's his name? Not the first assassin, the second assassin, and it was in Venice, I think it was. Where he had the reputation of spending all the time with prostitutes and women, right? That didn't damage his reputation because either he hasn't gotten anybody pregnant or broken. It's men have a lot of latitude as long as they don't cross certain lines. They're expected. They're expected to actually behave this way, at least in younger years, right? To a degree, which is double standards all around.
Of course. But yeah, so that seems like the sort of angle to go to. She is the madame. Either she's at that brothel itself, or if she has her own personal estate somewhere. Which one do we aim for? We just go to the brothel and see, I guess.
Woo!
Spencer, have a good time. You're not getting married for political reasons or otherwise.
What are you saying about that?
I'm just saying maybe you're married to your books. Don't worry about it. Have some fun. But yeah, I think that's our next stop, and we need to go ahead and find our Lady Bernadette. Which probably shouldn't be too hard of a task.
So how are you going to do that? You're going to go to the brothel? Or you're going to go to somewhere else? What's the approach? What's your take on this? And who's going to do what?
Mashing her face into stuff seems to be working pretty well so far, so I could go there, I can make polite inquiries, and I can try to see if I can talk with her in the back, basically. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, this place is almost always open, particularly at night.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of soldiers coming in and out, young nobility, right? It's one of those places where if you have the coin, it's you're good to go. And as it's red lamps outside, which are on, and you go in, and basically the doors are open. You hear music and laughter from inside. People are coming in and out, mostly male clientele. As you walk in, it's a heady. The air is filled with smoke, and a smell of perfume and alcohol and something else, something very familiar. You can see the lustful gaze of the men, mostly, as they're sort of looking for companionship. You see some men, not talking to each other. You see others with one or more ladies, etc. The lower floor it's almost like it would be like a bar or a pub, because there are some tables and people are drinking, but there's no bar. Maybe there's a servant here who passes the wine, and the wine, when you smell it, it's cheap wine, right? It's a kind that you drink fast and hard, basically. And hopefully that will not derail your wow.
We could just have like one glass. Glass is an armful.
Yeah, and you go from there. So there's dozens of ladies of the night, and not simply because they're nocturnal, but because they're working, of different species. So you're there, and some of them approach you and ask you, would you like to have some company tonight, monsieur?
Oh no, I'm looking for
something to make you raw.
A specific woman tonight. Perhaps you know where Bernadette is.
Well, gossip.
Okay, yeah, and so I'll go ahead and start doing that. I got my gossip. Boop. Success.
Nobility actually would help here, because you're somebody who is important and of money and resources, and that's what attracts. Well, doesn't with the reaction you
we're
get
in a brothel. I could reroll that for carousing, right?
Oh yeah, you can do carousing. Yeah,
let's do it. I'll buy a drink while I'm here.
Yeah.
Yay, we're up to 2.
Nice.
What you get here is you get knowing glances, etc. But all the women are very coy and don't answer direct questions. They're all about getting you upstairs to, or getting you to pay for drinks or something like that. It's about getting your money. But you do get, like, some people say, "Oh, Bernadette, yes, I'll help about her." Like they don't. How can I say this? They don't try to block you in the sense of saying, "Oh, I don't know who she is" or whatever. But it's more like they're trying to use that to get to your pants, or more importantly, get to your purse.
Yeah, if you just come to the small room with me, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, and you basically get a lot of the runaround. But you do definitely get the idea that yes, they've heard of her, and it's a known name. but
Mhm.
they never give you enough to say, okay, with this, what anything concrete. Right? These women are they know their business. They wouldn't be
Mhm.
here otherwise, and they can twist the tongue as easily as any noble man or woman that you met in here or back in the Isles,
Yeah.
in more ways than one. Um, and So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get anything. The only thing you get is a confirmation that they have, or at least they pretend to know that they know that name. They're not surprised by it, etc. But you don't get more than that.
Okay, so it's a little difficult going. I guess I could, of course, stick around long enough and see if maybe I spot someone more important. Maybe see if she's slipping in somewhere, or maybe even hear from other patrons, like, "Oh yeah, I've heard the name. She owns the place. Maybe she's upstairs," kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you can do another gossip roll if you're gonna stick around.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Ark, you
are
wanna
you? Or I could do the gossip while you're,
an 19 player
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and roll the 2d6, and I'll pop a d12. Yeah, one success, so you get a d12. Or two successes. That's fine.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah, you all look like men of wealth and means, even our heavily armored armor in here. And what you get is they know about her. She used to work here. Actually, they between different people as the night goes on, they basically give you a story that she used to work in another brothel, then she worked here, then she worked her way up
Mhm.
to being the madame, and then she sold it, right? If you want to know more about who owns it now, there's, they could introduce you to the actual madame, and they tell you in no that she doesn't work as often as she does, but she's willing to serve special clients,
Mhm.
for an increased rate. She's not completely out of the business, but this is the current madame, not Bernadette. As for Bernadette, they say, she's moved on, although she maintains connections. She meets and is still friendly to
Mhm.
many of the girls here, right? She hasn't forgotten where she's come from, uh, even though she's not here right now. So you could arrange a meeting with the current madame,
Mhm.
uh, by the name of Ella, or um, you could, partake of the pleasures of the pleasure of this palace of sin, or do something else.
Um, since they don't have like a direct connection, the current madame seems like the kind of one to work with then.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely try arranging a meeting with that and see how that goes.
Well, yeah.
Do I need to
You
like
know,
pop some money for that, or?
yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to bribe your
Well,
way
I
out
got
of
a
that.
wealth gift, and now I'm finally using it. So there we go. There's my wealth gift for the session.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they go upstairs, and it's a sort of a it's a door. There's a wide double staircase that go upstairs, but the door that you take is to the side, right? It's a side door, and then there's another set of stairs which are narrower, uh, and that takes you to a third floor.
Hmm.
And there's basically office slash room that she has, and let's see what species she is. Um, she's also a feline as well. She was a common cat, uh, a tabby basically, and she's sort of there, and somebody touches the door. It's like, "Hello, you have a visitor here." Like, oh, and you hear a voice from inside to come in. She seems to be, when you come in, well dressed, um, and about nearing middle age, but still
Hmm.
maintaining her figure in a youth, nonetheless. She's starting to seeing whites around the ears, etc. And it's like, oh, I hardly get so many visitors tonight. What can I do for you, my lord?
Ah, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, my ma'am. Uh, Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Gregory, and I'm interested in hearing a few things about the former Madame. I believe you may know her, Bernadette.
Oh, yes, I do know about her. Um, if I may be so bold, my lord, is there any specific reason why you're looking for her?
Uh, I'm just sort of trying to form the words here. Not for her herself, but for someone she associated with. There's things that I need to know, and I believe that she may be able to tell me. Or perhaps maybe to those who already know her, they already are obvious.
Who is? And she narrows her eyes, like she squints, and is like, "Who is this person you're talking about?" Bernadette is a good friend of mine, and I will not let you get harmed in any way.
Perhaps you've heard of Wilcox.
And she hisses like,
Ah, so you have.
"Oh yes, I have heard of this Wilcox individual. He used to come here, back when Bernadette and I were working. She was working her way up, and so was I. But you can only be one madame at a time, I suppose. Uh, he is a slimy one, that Wilcox. I've heard that they have maintained a business relationship uh, over the years. Um, Loans, you see. Wilcox has loaned her money. That's how she was able to move on from being a madame. Wanting to make money here, but you need to grease a lot of palms in order to get a position in the seamstress union. Well, you have to buy your legitimacy, so to speak, even in this town.
Of course.
I do
Money
not know
always
what,
moves.
I do not know what favors that she did for him over them. When she sort of opens her, paws, like, it's like the obvious. But they still seem to have some kind of relationship. I suspect it's more professional these days.
I see.
He's moved on to other ladies.
You said that though she had a loan from him. I don't suppose you know more of that in particular. I do, of course, worry about her. This Wilcox is as slimy as they seem to come.
I do not know the specifics of it. She has never distinguished, but I knew that she was very happy when he first made the offer. Seemed like a perfect thing for her, but then after that, seems to have soured a bit. She was a little more distant. Spoke less of him. Whatever hooks she has in her, I do not know.
Well, it is my duty, madame, to remove those hooks and to put him back out to sea if I can.
Or in prison, or worse.
If you know where she is, perhaps I can help her.
Oh, you can find her at the Seamstress Union. She deals with that all the day. That's her current work, so to speak. So that would be where we find her. I would be very careful, though. She is not. She doesn't have the same joie de vivre that she used to have back in the day. This work of ours can be difficult, but it can also be very enjoyable. It depends on how you approach it.
I don't suppose it would be possible for you to arrange a meeting, or is she simply so lost within the seamstress union we have to go search for her?
Oh, I could give you another introduction. That could help.
I think that would be wonderful, actually.
She goes to her desk and starts writing. Like I said, I don't want any harm to come to her. That can be avoided. She is a very dear friend of mine. But if you can't detach this lamprey from her, I would appreciate it.
Of course.
Perhaps after this is done and you require some companionship around town, a guide perhaps, I could take a break from my functions. Maybe see you off before you return to the Isles.
Well, pleasant offer, and I think I know of two very fortunate people here who might be willing to take you up on that. And I'll probably start walk behind both of you and just push you forward like an inch.
And she looks at you like that's not what I meant at all. It's like no.
Do you want the scrawny nerd or the one who never speaks or the mute?
No, it's
I mean, I appreciate it. You think you can move me?
Yeah. This perhaps there was a miscommunication due to that language barrier, but the boys here could certainly enjoy the pleasures down below. I do not provide that very specific service as I used to back in the day.
Of
It's
course.
it requires a certain level of gymnastics that my older bones cannot handle at this moment.
Of course, of course. Still, I thank you for what you've told us and for the letter. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Okay. So you get a letter of introduction, basically,
Mhm.
which would help from an old friend. Are you going to hand deliver it? Are you going to send it by courier? What is? Are you going to do something else and then use the letter?
We could probably try to send it, I think. And we could try to see if we could draw her away from one situation and come and talk to us. I think that might work. She's not like a high level runs the seamstress union. She's just in it, right?
Yeah, she's just in it.
Okay, so that should be easy enough. She'll have some time, and when she can get to us, she'll get to us, and that should work, I think.
Where are you going to arrange this meeting then?
Um, Good question. I mean, we have our inn. I think that works. Unless there's like unless there's like a better space for that or something. I'm not quite sure.
But where? Where are you going? It's going to be in the union. It's going to be. She's going to come to you. You're going to go to her.
I think we're gonna try like having her come to us like over at our where we're staying.
Okay. Yeah, that's doable.
Okay.
All right.
She comes about a day or so later with a scribe. She is a fox.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a badger for a small crab. And the badger is, even for badgers, they're pretty short. Short fellow with glasses and, has scrolls and the like and keeping notes. And they come into the where you're staying. And she's looking about and she's well dressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Simple, but well dressed, right? Perfect for her station, right? Not too ostentatious, but she's not wearing like hand me downs, something like that. Has a necklace around her with an emerald. That's the one thing that it's stood out that she has an emerald necklace, which is sort of like it shows that she has some money to her.
Mm-hmm.
And the barman, sort of motions you to you, says, "You've been waiting."
Yeah, and we'll sit down at the table together, and there's just probably just a drink there. That's all. And I'll say, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Bernadette. I'm Gregory."
She offers her hand, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I usually do not trade with members of the nobility from here or from faraway lands. Well, not as much as you used to. Um, what can I do for you, monsieur?
Well, there's a special bit of business I think I need to speak with you about. If you're willing to hear me out, as you've come here. I believe you know a man named Wilcox.
Hmm. That is a very personal matter, monsieur. May I ask how you know about this?
Uh, through a number of means and ends. He's I have yet to see anyone speak a single word positive of him whenever I mention his name, and I've seen him do some very slimy things to people around here. In fact, I've spoken to a number of people who, under contract, had been forced to stay in indenture far past their time, and other such terrible, terrible arrangements, all to his benefit, of course. And as part of my own desire to put an end to some of this, it had come to my attention that maybe you too had some sort of arrangement as well.
I knew this day would come. I would say this. He's a very careful man. What he does almost always skirts the letter of the law. But several years ago, he needed help. You see, his permit to get these loans and to bring people over to the city was being challenged. Now he has tried his hand at bribing his way through that, but it wasn't working. He had made several enemies. No, nothing serious. Now we're talking about knives, daggers here. A lot of impediments to his business. And since at the time I was a well-to-do madame in a certain line of work, I knew some of the players. In exchange for a significant amount of silver, so I could move on in the world, so to speak, I used my not inconsiderate talents at the time, associates, to get him what he wanted. Certain documents were altered to make everything nice and legal.
I see.
I do
That.
don't know which documents precisely, and who exactly did it. I just was a go-between. It's very interesting. I worked many years in the pleasure business. And to be honest, I rarely felt as dirty then as I did when I did this favor for Wilcox. He's a charming fox. I will grant him that. Quick-tongued and has certain expertise areas which I will not discuss further. I'm sure you can understand what I'm trying to say, and if you don't, better left enough said.